Hello, everyone. Welcome to an exciting broadcast. I'm so excited to be here. This is 3 years almost to the day in the making of finally getting together to talk about the release of the course that we've been working on, Navigating Beliefs. And I'm joined here by many members of the team, as well as some members of the board of directors of SEI, and even, I think, a content creator or two who contributed videos for the course. So welcome, everyone. Thanks for being here. Man, what an exciting time.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, let me just
Finally
get things off. Yeah, this is awesome. Check out, my kids sent me flowers and a balloon for the course.
Oh, yeah.
That.
Wow.
Big
Isn't that
day.
awesome?
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, we were getting things set up this morning. Me and Robert furiously configuring all the landing pages and all the announcements, and my door rang, and perfect timing on that. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad that you're here. My gosh. We're planning to sit here for about 2 hours to talk about the course and maybe show you aspects of the course, share some behind the scenes things about the course, maybe that we had troubles with, or the months and months of discussions about the definition of street epistemology, which you'll find in module 1 of the course. This has been an amazing project, and I guess, who do I turn it over to first? I mean, this really should just be sort of a free-flowing discussion. We don't really have anything a tight agenda planned, but
and we do have a schedule with more people coming on, so we've got about 20-25 minutes for this first half hour.
Okay, cool. We'll filter. And me, I think me and Reed at least will be here the whole time. I don't know if, Robert, you're planning to stay the whole time or not. Okay, good. So I
can stay until 7.
Can you stay too? Great. Okay, so we're gonna have a nice little party here. Great. Let's just quickly go around the room. Who should we go to first? Reed, do you want to take it? We'll go to Robert and go around.
Sure, yeah, I'm Reed, YouTube Cordial Curiosity, but also president of SEI and one of the SME's subject matter experts for the course. Worked on it since day one, and it's been a lot of fun. So glad it's out there.
Yeah.
What about you, Robert?
Hi, I'm Robert. I'm the project manager for the Street Epistemology course. We're dubbed it, had a working title SECD, which is the Street Epistemology Course Development Project. And I've been involved in this project since day 0.-5 in terms of we're working on it before it actually even became a project. It was a proposal to do a project. And it's been a wild ride.
And I remember when I first made the post on social media, like announcing that we're putting together a team, you were one of the first people to show up at those meetings. And I remember thinking, that's good. He's been involved in SE from the very start, knows it, and would be perfect for the team. And I'm so glad that you showed up to that. And you were an awesome leader of this project. And we're only done with phase 1. By the way, we still have a second phase.
Oh, geez.
We're about halfway done with the course, believe it or not,
Yeah.
but we think we're going to get a lot faster. But thank you, Robert, for leading this project. You've been an incredible project manager. Thank you for doing that. Romulus.
Rom?
All right, I'm next. I'm Rom. Hey, everyone. Another subject matter expert. Been here since day 1. Excited. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and just so people, I don't know how much I can share about this, but Rom's been moving all over the world.
I know.
Every year and a half or 6 months, 9 months, trying to get ahead of war.
Yeah.
And
Not succeeding.
Lots of conflicts.
trying to get ahead of war while developing this project with a massive 7 to 8 to 9 hour difference in time zone. You've contributed so much to this, my friend. My gosh.
Yes.
I mean, your name is all over this course, and yeah, glad to have you here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your story is really wild like that. You have like a really interesting story, but I don't know how much you want to share with everybody. But yeah. Oh, look, there it is. We got a little glimpse here of the course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute.
Cool. Well, I'm Nathan. I have a channel called Abstract Activist. I launched my channel, I think, in 2019, but I practiced well before that. And I discovered how bad I was at it. I recorded myself. I think my first recorded SE talk might have been 2017 or 2016. And then I played it back and was like, oh boy, I have I have a lot to learn. And so I just started listening back to my own conversations, and I've been involved with the Discord community for a long time. And then when I was approached about this project, launching this, like trying to put our thoughts together and create a coherent like course that people can learn from. I was at first I was like, I'm not so sure we can pull it together. It's our thoughts are so all over the place about it. But then I just thought it was once we got started, I thought it was the coolest thing this community has ever done, ever put together. This course is like helping me understand all sorts of stuff from my own goals as to like why I would want to practice street epistemology, to how I articulate what it is that I'm doing with others so they can do it. And the more I started doing it, the more I started realizing that practicing street epistemology out on the street is one thing, but like teaching other people how they can do it so that they can use street epistemology with me in turn, so they can question my ideas, even on street epistemology itself. I just thought it was the coolest, most meta thing I'd ever been a part of. So I'm really stoked to share what we have written today, and so much work has gone into it. And yeah, that's why I'm here. I help write the course and have a channel. That's it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great having you on the team too. Like, you always brought humor to the team. You know,
Right.
what I like about you, dude, is like you're very authentic. You're funny, and you don't bullshit around. You know, if you didn't like something that was happening, or
I think I do probably more than anyone.
no. I mean, like you're direct is what I meant to say. Like,
okay,
you know,
I am
you're
more. You're
authentic and direct. And if you think something should be in there, or we pulled something out that shouldn't, like you would, you know.
I try to SE the.
You make your case.
SE.
Yeah, it was yeah,
For sure.
exactly. Yeah,
absolutely. Thanks, man.
Well, I'm Bob. I guess I'm going to go this way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm Bob. I've got a YouTube channel. It's a relatively inactive YouTube channel, but it's Mortgage Hill Musings. I've done some writing on the course. I feel like I've contributed so little compared to. I know there's been a huge amount of effort on the parts of a lot of other folks on the screen here, but and I can't say enough about the quality and quantity of work that you guys did, and how thrilled I am to see that the course is now out there. I'm an educator, and I've long been interested in teaching critical thinking skills to my students. I worry that the world is experiencing kind of a pandemic of certainty. I think that street epistemology is just a wonderful tool to probe the level of that people have when it comes to beliefs, you know, including your own. And so I'm really excited to have this tool available to a lot of folks. Yeah, I'm heading next to a Secular Student Association meeting on my campus, and I can't wait to tell the students there. And they're going to be going home for Thanksgiving, and hopefully they'll have time to go through the course themselves. And I just think it's going to be a great educational tool.
Nice. Yeah, so people a little bit behind the scenes, when we put this course together, we brought in experts like, you know, Bob and Nathan and Ram and Reed, but then we also shared what we were developing with the community. In fact, when we first started putting it together, we solicited topics from the community of what they wanted to see, and then that sort of got refined to this course that you see today. So that's awesome that you're planning to share that with students. I think that's great. And you know, free is always good when you're a college student, and that would be great to see them show up in the course. Awesome. And you have contributed, Bob. I feel like you really have contributed quite a bit to it. So don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
I think maybe David next.
Sure. Hey, I'm David. I'm a content creator. I do a channel called 2-Day David. I walk around with a cardboard cut out of myself and have people explain to him, who was born yesterday, it's the second day on Earth, what their thoughts and beliefs are, and we talk about it through there. And I haven't contributed a lot to the back end of this. I'm so excited to be in the middle of what's happening right now, and I'm hoping to contribute a lot going forward, because I love the thought of this coming to fruition, and the thought of being able to have people from all different sides wrestle with these modules and interact with these thoughts in a structured way. It's nice. It's so much better than just say it's kind of like the Socratic method. Here, watch this 2-hour-long video.
Yeah. Good. Well, really nice to have you here as a content creator. I think we have at least one of your videos in the course, if I'm not mistaken. Do you happen to remember which module it's in, or have you? You're not sure? Okay.
I'm not
Well,
sure.
we
right
can
now,
look it up.
sorry.
But it's good to have
Probably
you.
outside of
And you're probably like 3rd or 4th generation exterior street epistemologist level, maybe. Like, it's neat to see these waves of content creators coming through, and I think it's awesome that we have these resources for people. In fact, I would not be surprised if we start seeing more content creators. We didn't develop the course for people to go out on the street and do SE, but I would not be surprised if we start seeing more of that because of the course, and because of examples like yours out there too. So really
Appreciate it.
grateful for your contribution. Thanks. Hey, Janosch.
Hey. Well, first of all, I want to say that I love this brilliant idea of I was born yesterday, 2-day David. Love it. Great.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Janosch. I'm from Germany. I'm on the board of directors of SEI. Despite being on the board, I have not been involved in the development of the course. I'm involved in other projects. And I think I registered early on to review the modules, and I did like half a module or something, because I'm so busy with other work. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to being able to discover this course that I to me is about as new as to any of you out there. Yeah, and also in Germany we have a German-speaking community, Germany and Austria currently, and it's called Sokratischer Weg. So if you're watching and you speak German, find our website, Sokratischer Weg.
Yeah, I think you might be one of the first foreign language from my perspective, foreign language SE groups that formed. And we want to translate this course into multiple languages. So we're going to we like Street Epistemology International will definitely be trying to come up with something through you to work with Sokratischer Weg to come up with a translation of the course. And German might be the very first language because of your involvement with our organization. So
that would be great.
Very excited about that. Yeah. Wunderbar. Georgia, hi.
Placements, everything. Hi, I'm Georgia. I'm the treasurer of SEI. And I want to congratulate all of you hard workers doing all this behind the scenes preparation to get to this day. I'm standing O from my end here. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. I have hosted, I'd say, a majority of people in this screen at my very house. And I can't wait to host the rest of you whenever you're in town. Please come my way. Having hosted Anthony back in, I think it was 2016, he tasked us with developing this. I wonder if it's going to be seen here. This very early stage of the very early stage.
That's so funny that you're showing that, Georgia, because I remember I gave a talk somewhere or a workshop, and I remember afterwards
it was at NanoCon.
Was it NanoCon?
NanoCon,
and you said, it was a great workshop, but it'd be really nice if you had it like written out that you could hand out to people. Duh. I didn't even freaking think of that. So yeah, I came up with that. And so Georgia was the inspiration for that little resource, I guess you could say.
Right.
And by the way, most of the invoices that came through expense-wise for the course came through Georgia's hands too, as the treasurer. So thank you for paying all the bills.
Position here, but I'm really eager to get into these modules, and with my husband Stephen, we're going to go through them very diligently and have fun with this and learn as we go.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's really glad to have you all here. Yeah, thank you. We did spend quite a lot of money on this course, even though it was mostly volunteer based. There were some expenses, like the software for the learning management system. What else? Illustrations cost money. So yeah, there's been quite a lot of outlay, but all of that's been covered by donations. The donating community that supports Street Epistemology International covered all of those expenses.
Mhm.
However, though, the majority of the effort has been volunteer based. I've never been on a project like this that has been so largely dependent on volunteers, for one thing, that stuck with it for as long as they have. We've had people come and go, and some people will come and come back and go and come back, depending on their schedules. But it was largely volunteer based and worldwide. We've had volunteers from around the world contributing to this, which was really an amazing thing. I don't know if you want to speak to that, Robert.
Yeah, I do want to mention
level
that.
of effort.
Yeah, I do want to mention that just briefly that managing a large scale project like this across multiple years is quite a challenge, and having a project team which is largely consists of volunteers is a special challenge, because it's important to keep people engaged in terms of what they're doing, and they understand the nature of their contribution and role going forward. And in addition to all of that was the international aspect of it, and having meetings meeting at very odd hours, because there are always one person's in Australia, another person's in Germany, another person's in Los Angeles. It's all over the world, and so we had to pick very strange days and times to meet for this project, and somehow, because of people's commitment, it managed to all hold together. So it was really a testament to people's commitment to SE and its effectiveness that really helped to make the project stay together and move forward.
Yeah, really well said. And I know Reed in particular, every week or two, he's been in a different time zone. So that was another factor we kind of had to keep up with. But I mean, we've tried to use technology to make this thing happen. We've become really familiar with Google Calendars and Zoom and a whole host of other software packages. Google Docs, I know Google Docs really, really well now.
Yeah.
After 3 years of doing this stuff.
Using Hammer Time on Discord, so that way everyone's time zones are all in sync.
Yeah. I wish
people
they had
from
Hammer
all
Time
over the world working on this thing.
I wish Hammer Time worked on every application, because it's just such a
Right?
great little chunk of code, and it shows the current time
It should
and
be
date.
so
date and
simple,
time.
right?
or missing the meeting by an hour because you're in the wrong time zone.
It's happened a couple times.
Yes.
Oh, and the neat thing is, this was something unique about the project, is we recorded every meeting that we had. With exception of maybe a handful like spontaneous things that popped up. Almost everything that we talked about and decided is recorded. And that could be fun one day to pull some of those.
How many
video
hours?
clips.
How many hours do you think that tallies up to, Anthony?
Exactly.
I've been wanting-
the number of people times the duration of each meeting.
That's what we need to do. I was hoping that maybe an AI could be smart enough to okay, there were 5 people in this meeting, but this person left, 30 minutes early, and extract that total and then it's got to be monument. I would put it at probably 10,000 hours would be my guess. Man hours, people hours.
Yeah, for each.
Yeah.
But I
each
want to total it
module
up.
had their own meetings and stuff.
It should be.
That's right. We had multiple teams and sub teams. I think at the largest point, it was a team of 17, but it fluctuated up and down.
Mm-hmm.
I
The other
think
thing is, we were learning how to even do this thing in the first place, and it was a painful learning process, I have to say. When we had originally started, we had 3 teams to write 3 modules concurrently. But then by the time we were all done sort of writing and we compared what we wrote, we had duplication of what we wrote. We had different writing styles to deal with. So we sort of we would hit a wall, we'd correct, and then we'd advance, another 10 yards down the American football field, right? And then we, progress, hit another wall, move back. It's always been like that. There's not been one aspect of this course that's been easy, of developing this course that's been easy.
I downloaded a bunch of the earlier meetings, and I have a clip very relevant to that let's watch it real
Oh
quick.
wow.
Oh wow.
Raises a good
None
question,
of us have
like
seen
how
it
much
yet.
autonomy do we want to give the module teams, or do we want to say, no, like this is your list of topics, this is what you need to hit? Probably the first meeting that we have with them is we say we've narrowed this down, this is the logic that we use, this is what we've come up with, what do you think? And then we work with them to narrow this down even further. So I don't think we have to get too granular with the topic sections, with the topic names at this point.
Yeah, that's you talking about. Yeah, we'll just give the very broad, non-outlined topics to a module team, and they'll write
Say
it.
go.
And
How
they'll
dumb.
write it.
So like
Yeah.
we probably worked under that model for at least 6 months before we realized, or maybe even a year to be, I mean, it might have been a while before we said, you know, maybe we should outline what needs to be in the module and then give it to people to actually write to that outline. But we're lay people who discovered SE, who wanted to teach people about it and had no background in developing a course. So it's really quite amazing that it even happened and then to the degree that it did, because I really think it's an amazing thing that ended up coming together. So
I mean, look
yeah.
at the way that SEI, the way that SEI has come in with regards to professionalism and organization. It's also quite amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just mentioned briefly because Bob has an educator's background, and people with an educational background recognize there's a method of learning called the Feynman method, which in a nutshell reduces down to the idea that you know something when you can teach it concisely to others, and there is throughout this entire process has been an exercise in the Feynman method of constantly refining an understanding of SE in very nuanced ways, and being able to see that and express that in a concise way. It's been an enormous learning experience, and I think that the effect has changed SE itself in terms of our understanding of it and its capabilities, and being able to express in concise ways what that is.
I mean, even just the definition, like defining SE took a while for us.
It did.
Almost
Yeah,
embarrassingly.
Embarrassingly, like we kept coming back to it. Like even like 6 months ago, we're like, maybe we should slip in this word here. I think it needs to be. Yeah.
I think it's natural with something as foundational as this, as the definition of the whole thing, that has to take time. Even though, especially because it's so short, it has to be very short and concise, and that takes time.
There was a while at which we had 3 definitions, a long, short, and medium version of what the definition was. And then we're like, when you look up words in the dictionary, there's multiple definitions. So why can't we have a multiple definition? And then we're like, well,
but we tested
people are gonna
it.
pick and choose which one they're going to use for any given moment. And
And so, because the method itself is, we put a lot of emphasis on definitions, and when we're talking to somebody or having a conversation, let's make sure we understand what faith is or whatever. And so it's kind of important that we get our own definitions straight and all, and sort of know where our base is.
Yeah, the definition definitely got reworked. I mean, a lot of the stuff got reworked, and we were sort of like designing the parachute after we jumped out of the plane in a lot of ways. We know that we wanted to teach people SE, but we ourselves were still discovering what it actually is when we were writing the course. And that's what was so unique. Another unique thing about this project is that we were understanding it as we were codifying it.
That's right. In the earliest parts of this project, it was an open question whether or not we should even have a definition of SE, or include an express definition. That there were arguments made to not have a clear, concise definition of SE and let it be flexible, and felt people wanted to enjoy that flexibility of having no clear definition of what SE is.
Yeah, I remember being worried about, and maybe I still am to a little degree, like there's a big responsibility to defining something as big and important as SE, and I don't want to screw it up. And I wanted wiggle words like, this definition could change over time, which of course it can, or like, here's our definition, but there's other definitions out there. And we got feedback from people familiar with SE saying, you need to be more authoritative. Don't be wishy-washy in this text, which I was really surprised because I thought we'd get pushback for being too authoritarian or something.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like that's the case. That people appreciated the clarity, the specificity.
And just to speak to the audience right now, we are reading some of us are reading your comments in the live chat. So please fire away anything you want us to talk about or anything that you want us to discuss.
No, I wasn't even looking at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
I figured we
at this
just
point,
mentioned that a little bit.
We've got 3 more people coming on. That was the first half hour of the session. So yeah, thanks David for coming on. And Nathan, if you want to come back in about half an hour, we should have more room.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll bail out for now and I'll join you a
with
bit.
Quaid.
Absolutely.
Keep up the great work,
So-
David. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
I have a lot more to
Future-
say though. So
The
I'll be
future of
back.
SE right there
Yeah.
with David. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot
Georgia,
more to
you-
say, as you always do,
Georgia-
Nathan.
Janosch, feel free to stick around or leave whenever. But all right, thanks y'all. Next up, we're going to bring Matt, Pierce, and Veronica up on the stage.
Oh,
What's up, y'all?
wow. Great.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Hey. Yes, those experts in old dad jokes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was gonna. Pierce, do you have kids?
I have one kid, yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering where the dad jokes were coming from.
Yeah, it's legit. I'm legit now, so I can make those.
You can.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice to have you. Yeah, we got Pierce here, Veronica, and Matt, all 3 of whom are SE content creators and putting out amazing SE content. Nice to have you all here. Have you had a chance to go through the course yet? I know we just released it a couple hours ago. No.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Oh,
Okay.
What do you hope to most get from it without having seen it first? What do you want? What questions do you want to have answered from the course?
I think I'm just generally excited for where it might go, like how far reaching it might be. Don't have any expectations yet.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get some. I mean, some of the questions that I generally have are, I find it hard to say, like, is that a good reason? Like, when things like personal experience or faith are brought up, as I'm looking for good things of what to say when I don't want to say what just comes naturally, or.
Yeah. Well, I think the course has some examples of phrases that you can say in different situations. The interesting thing about this release, phase 1, is that a good 3/4 of it is theory. And then maybe the last part was more things that you do during the conversation, things to say or do as the conversation goes. And you'll start seeing more of that. Yeah, there's some examples of things to actually say. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's kind of hard for me to see, but yeah, that's one of the biggest questions I think I would always get. Like, what do you do if you don't know what to say or ask?
Yeah.
So the course does have tons of that stuff in there.
Nice.
Cool. Have you been uploading any videos yet? I think you have some conversations, don't you? I want to see them.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yes, I've done quite a few interviews. I have not gotten my footage. Not that it's inaccessible. I just haven't received it yet. And I'm looking forward to it though.
Yeah, I want to see it for sure.
What are we doing with that one talk with the two girls at UWGP? Is that going on my channel or yours?
Well, I can go on yours for now, Of course.
Okay.
One of both.
Yeah, put it on both. More the merrier.
Both, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Pierce has been helping us with the video clips. So the clips that you see, he's been. Did you use an AI to put the captions on there, and you put the bumpers on the front and the back? So Pierce is really helping us out with the
lifesaver
video
use
clips.
in that.
The funny thing is, ever since we've been testing the course, we would get feedback from the testers. I want video clips. I want video clips. And then we finally sort of as we had most of the bases covered, we thought, we have a little bit of time. Maybe we can slip a few of these clips in here. And we looked for a volunteer, and Pierce was enthusiastically supportive in helping us get these together.
Oh yeah, I was happy to help out.
Mm-hmm.
It was rough kind of finding clips because the only way to find them is really just to watch a bunch of SE videos. So yeah, it was fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, of course, watching SE videos is before this course. Watching SE videos is the #1 way in which people learn SE.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, with the advent of this course, it will be one of many ways in which people can learn SE.
Yeah, typically they would watch a video and then end up in a community, and then they're off. But yeah, we're hoping that now that the course is out, people might watch a video and find the course, or find a course and watch videos, and then end up in SE community. So that way they're arriving with a good foundational understanding of what SE is, and not be mystified about it. So I think it might actually lead to maybe more robust communities, or maybe better discussions in those communities. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it's hard to say what the impact will be from this course being out, but I think some things are going to change. There's now like a fairly established resource that puts a stick in the ground and says, this is what SE is, and here are the things that you should be doing and not doing when you're doing SE. We've never had anything like that before. So I think this is a factor. This will definitely influence the community in ways that we probably haven't even considered yet.
So Pierce, you were the video curator for these video clips. Could you tell us a little bit about how you scanned far and wide and searched for video clips for the course?
Well, I tried a couple different strategies. My first strategy was just download all the transcripts and have ChatGPT search for the clips that I needed. That didn't work. It doesn't work that way. ChatGPT does a horrible job at that. So ultimately, I had to just pop in my earbuds and just listen on 2x speed and just keep listening to as many as I can. And hopefully I come around to the examples that I needed to find. And I think I found quite a few. I didn't find an example for every single topic, but found quite a few, I think.
I think it would be awesome if in the future we had a collection of SE videos with tags like truth relativism or like body language, because it's a very specifically good example, or with all these labels, so you can easily just find theist or Buddhism or whatever you're looking for.
Yeah, and something that was actually really helpful for me when I was trying to find these clips is Navigate with Nate actually tags I don't know what the right word is. He puts like timestamps, I guess maybe that's the right term.
Chapters.
Of chapters, yeah.
Yeah.
Of all the steps. I think Anthony does that too. Those might be the only two people who do that. And that was really helpful. And that might be really helpful for someone who's trying to learn SE too.
So for any content creators out there or future content creators listening, yeah, maybe as you're having your conversations, if you have something that you think would be a good fit for the course, let us know, because we could probably take your clip and stick it in there. I'd love to have an archive of just hundreds of video examples showing these things in the course.
I think people recognize that there's no single all-inclusive perfect SE conversation. However, there are amazing, excellent moments from individual conversations, which, when put together, demonstrate various aspects of SE. And I think that's what you successfully did, Pierce, is find some of those gem moments that occurred from time to time in conversations.
Yeah. Somebody was asking in the chat that, can you please summarize the course's content? Who wants to do that? Anyone?
Rom. Hey, Rom, go for it, Rom.
Yeah, well, all right. So basically, it speaks briefly about what street epistemology is, what it's for, what are the ethical considerations relevant to it, and then we go on teaching how you actually do it. at least we'll start doing that because it's only phase 1. Yeah, we have managed to cover what mindsets are important for having SE conversations and how to prepare to a talk and how to build and maintain rapport. That's where we got.
Yeah.
For.
Which one of these would you say? Oh yeah, there's phase 2. That's what's coming next. That's what we're hoping to get done by the end of 2024. I don't know if I could say that with a straight face, but I'm hoping that we get that done before 2024. We're trying to be more efficient as we're putting these together, but yeah, there's the other stuff. So yeah, this first phase gets you into the conversation and having rapport being really strong. But as far as like, how do you establish the claim? How do you figure out the real reason? How do you get down to the epistemology? That stuff's coming, but there's still a great deal of good information in the course at the moment. Things that you need to know if you want to be good at street epistemology.
I think that the first 6 modules are the perfect cliffhanger because people, if they've come so far, now they want to really get into it, right? So hopefully they will be eager for the release of the second phase.
Yeah, that's one thing that we're kind of wondering is if we'll feel more pressure to get the second phase of the course out. Pressure that we didn't really feel with the first phase. You know, we just kept, well, we're working on it. But now that there's something out there, which might be this might be a good opportunity to say, if you're interested in helping us, if you want to volunteer for the course in some way, you know, we need somebody to help us schedule meetings. We need somebody to help us with translations. We have a help desk component to this that we didn't even talk about. We need bodies to be be able to respond to the emails that are coming in. People have really good questions. So if you're interested in helping out with that, just email contact@streetepistemologyinternational.org and we'll get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Have you gone through it yet, Matt?
The course?
Yeah.
No, I briefly opened it on my phone and then I had other crap to do. So.
Yeah.
Sure.
Looks cool.
Yeah,
Great.
I really like the interface. When we were setting it up, I was actually a little surprised at how user-friendly the back end is and how responsive it is. Like, it didn't crash. That software never crashed once on me over 3 or 4 weeks of working with it. Very stable.
Yes.
Very user-friendly. And it's the same platform that we're going to use for the replacement of the SE website. So the course and the website are going to be tightly integrated. So when you go to the homepage, you'll see, the definition of SE with a link to how you can go right to the course.
Yeah.
And learn it.
Great. And educators who may be watching this will recognize that a course like this is based on a learning management system, or LMS. And SEI did a scan and search and we tried various kinds of learning management system platforms to arrive at the one we're currently using. And you know that there are all kinds of online courses out there, Wondrium and all kinds of things, Khan Academy, that use learning management systems, as well as those that support university courses and colleges. And we looked at the wide range of things. So what we're using now as a platform has a lot of flexibility, has a lot of growth potential for much more than simply a single online course. This is the vanguard of things going forward, and we have the foundation and infrastructure in place to do many amazing things. So stay tuned.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. Somebody was suggesting, can you display the name of the course? Oh, yeah. Okay, here's one question. If one has successfully completed the course, is there a certificate that can be hung on the wall? As a matter of fact, there is.
There is.
There's a certificate of completion. So even if you, is that right? Now let me think here.
Yeah.
Do you have to pass the quizzes? You have to get a 70 or higher to get the certificate of completion. Is that right?
That's right. That's right.
So you have to be paying attention when you go through the course, and you have to do fairly good on the quizzes. But if you do that, you'll get a certificate, and yeah, absolutely hang it on your wall.
They're knowledge checks, right? A quiz implies that there's some teacher looking over your shoulder saying, "Are you doing this right?" No. These are knowledge checks. You are checking yourself. You're verifying your own knowledge and understanding, and coming to your own conclusion. Do I have this? And so that's what these knowledge checks are for. Is for purposes of self-evaluation and self-assessment.
And we don't have that many.
My teachers told me that was what was happening at school too, but no.
You don't. If I love bullshit, right?
And we don't like pummel you with questions. I think module 3 might have 3 questions to check your knowledge. Module 6, which is building and maintaining rapport, it's a much more lengthy one. Maybe there's 9 or 10 knowledge check questions, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I can just mention there are 39 questions across 6 quizzes or knowledge checks, and there's an example of a certificate.
Yeah. And I'm noticing the date on that is junked up, but I think we fixed that bug at the next.
We did fix that. Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Like my eye goes right to the mistake, but yeah. Can we show on the screen the URL and tell people how to actually find the course? Why don't we drop that link? I'll drop that in the chat. Or maybe you can put something on the screen. All you have to do is go to navigatingbeliefs.com. Go to that website and it will take you to that page right there. And then there's 2 buttons. There's a button for newbies. If it's your first time here and you're just signing up, hit that button. And then there's a different page that you go to if you're a returning learner. And
scroll
if
down.
you have time, this landing page really has a lot of information about the course, and it has some great testimonials at the bottom. So if you get a chance, check that out.
Yeah. It explains not only what the course is, but who's this course for? Is this course for me? Why should I take this course? And then some great comments on the street from some people you may recognize of what they've said about this course.
Mm-hmm. Great stuff. And I would love to see more testimonials from people that have actually gone through the course in and taken all the quizzes and earned their certificate of completion. Those are the testimonials that I would really like to start seeing.
Yeah.
So if you've done that, let us know your thoughts. Maybe we'll put them on the site. Somebody's asking how much time one should take for the course. We have a breakdown of the time. I think we're saying like roughly 4 to 5 hours to get through this first phase.
I would say more.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, it's getting light in Germany.
Oh, yes. The testers.
Yeah, we were talking about time zones earlier. Have fun.
Thanks.
And,
Thanks, Jonas.
yeah.
See ya.
Bye,
We'll be in
Janice.
touch. We're going to translate this thing to German.
But yeah, we had tons of testers who just took very simplified versions of the course, just PDFs, text documents. It didn't look as pretty and as interactive as it is now. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, was our plan. Our plan originally, I think, was to release the PDFs of this thing and not be an interactive thing with videos and have it online and that type of thing. So this was a development.
Yeah. David did an amazing job coordinating the testing, which is a critical component to all of the quality of this course, which is a result of that testing process. And so it was somewhat complicated in terms of internal testing, external testing, quantitative testing, qualitative testing. It was quite rigorous, and so we needed a testing coordinator for that, and that's what David did, and it was really good.
And David has the channel Sound Epistemology, and I don't know if he may be traveling, but I'm not sure if he's joining our live stream today or not. Do you know, Reed?
I think he's driving.
Oh, okay. No problem. But yeah, it wasn't just like the testing piece of it. It was all the emailing that was needed to keep the testers in the loop and let them know when things were coming up and answering their questions when they had trouble, that type of thing. So yeah, that was a really, nobody would even know that that job was there if we didn't mention it, but it was a really important piece of it.
Yeah, it's kind of the thankless task in the background that people don't
Mhm.
recognize. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
It does require for you to sign in with an email, yeah, so we can track your progress and send you updates through email.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you do need an email, but we won't spam you. And this software is really cool. Like when module 7 becomes available, we can simply just let you know. You'll get an alert that it's ready. You can go right into the course and take it. Cool.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. So what was I'm trying to think of the other modules that we wrote 6 modules. Was there a particular one that stands out as being like one of the hardest to write? Do you have any thoughts on that? I guess this is probably more towards
I don't know.
Robert, Reed, and Rom.
Yeah, I don't know. All of them. I can't even choose which one is more significant or more difficult. All of them were interesting and troublesome at the same time, challenging, everything.
Yeah.
Probably 2 or 6. Hard to say.
2 was the hardest, really? The why use street epistemology?
Ethics. I think 6 was formerly module 7. That the complete redesign of module 7 into module 6 on the subject of building and maintaining rapport was really important. Also, that the course in its initial arc was 21 modules, and is today 14 modules. So yes, there's a lot of rethinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's become more streamlined as we put it together. Let's see. Well, module 1 has the definition of SE. I mean, that one took a while. We kept revisiting it. Module 6, building and maintaining rapport, was extremely long and talks about all the behaviors that come into play when you're doing street epistemology. I mean, each one of these, 4 might have been the easiest one to write. But like a good example is module 2, why use street epistemology? We wrote and rewrote that thing at least 2 or 3 times. But it was funny. I distinctly remember realized that the justifications for doing, like, the why you would want to use SE, there's a why you want to use SE broadly, like what are you hoping to achieve broadly, and what are you hoping to achieve in this conversation. And we had to make that distinction between those 2 types of goals that you had. But that didn't dawn on us when we were writing it the first time. But I'm glad that we finally got that in there.
Yep.
Have we had a significant amount of signups since it was released at 1 o'clock?
I think Robert's been checking that. Yeah.
Yes, the
I don't know what
traffic
the
has
latest
gone up.
is.
The last I checked, it was over 1,000. So I can check again later. Here.
I'm popping back in. Hey.
Oh, there he is. What's up? Someone just said that they shared the course link on their meetup in Tulsa. They have an SE meetup in Tulsa.
Nice.
What? I didn't even know you had that. We are meeting this Saturday and we'll discuss the course. Thank you for the hard work putting this together.
So much
that's
hard work
cool.
went into this. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, this person about Tulsa, there is, I don't know if you know about it, but there's an SE, what is it? Communities committee. So if you have an online or in-person SE group, or you run an SE type of online community, we have regular gatherings for people who facilitate those. So if you're interested in that, email communities@streetepistemologyinternational.org.
Yeah, Portland, Oregon. If you're in Portland, Oregon, we have
we got one.
an active community there. We haven't done a meeting in a while, but I think it's called, if you're on Facebook, there's a group called Street Epistemologists of PDX, which is a mouthful. But yeah, come on there, and we just meet up at pubs and talk about SE related things.
That's cool.
So far. Although what
And
I'd like to do is meet up with David from Sound Epistemology and have his resources and my resources, combine them together and help people do SE on camera in public. So that's my next thing. Well, it's like fall right now, so the weather's not super great, but we might still do it somewhere at some point.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we might even have a couple of meetup licenses or seats available still for people who want to start an SE club. Do we still have those, Reed? Do you know if we have any left? We have a finite limit of like meetup things so that you can announce your club on Meetup, and then people will search for it and find it. You can use keywords where they'll find it.
I think we have 2 available.
Okay.
We've had over 2,000 views in the last 5 hours on the landing page.
Oh, views of the landing page. Okay. All right. Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, that's interesting. Someone says, I would include in module 2 when not to use SE. Ah.
That used to be a part of module 1.
What's it?
Yeah.
What
It
SE
pains
is
us
not.
so much to strip things away.
Oh, what
But
we did.
have to do that.
Yeah. But but we didn't, but that work wasn't lost. We had pages of like explaining what SE isn't, but we ended up, it didn't make it to the course, but it ended up on the website. It's on the FAQ page of the SE website now. Like the misconceptions of SE. That's covered now, but it's in the FAQ page.
Yes, there's for all the text that you see in the current course, the total amount of writing is more than triple that in terms of the actual material that was written and rewritten. Yes, so you're not seeing an enormous amount of writing that didn't make it into the current course and as it is today. Yes, that's part of the effort that was associated with this.
I'm wondering, though, if we can just take a real brief crack at actually answering the question, which is probably whenever there's like a mental health concern involved, would be probably a baseline obvious thing. Like maybe don't do SE if there's like some mental health things happening at that time. Although SE could be used, I can imagine a world in which more and more social workers and therapists familiarize themselves with street epistemology to the degree that they can adopt useful tools to help them navigate a person's mental health crisis. I don't know if we're there yet, but that would probably be my answer.
I'd say another case for not using SE is just if they don't want it.
Yeah, that's an obvious one too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, consent is a huge part of it because you want it to be a collaborative effort. So it needs to start out being a collaborative effort from the very get-go. And that, in my mind, means establishing consent for the talk and just being completely transparent with what you intend on doing with the conversation and then inviting them to participate. Hopefully they agree. And if they do, then proceed. But yeah, that for me has always been step one.
Yeah.
I would say, like, if you feel unsafe or your conversation partner is being hostile to you, then that's when, and I think we wrote about this in the course. You set aside the SE and you go for something different, like nonviolent communication. You can't SE a hostile person. You have to address the hostility.
And you have to recognize the conditions that are present for conducive to a productive conversation. If there are certain conditions that are not in place, maybe this is not the time to have that conversation.
Yep. All righty, we've got our new half-hour session going now. Thanks, Matt, Veronica, and Pierce for joining. Any last final words?
Let's go take the course. It's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Very excited.
Amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your
See you
support.
later.
Thank you.
All right. Who's coming on next? Reed?
Next, we got Quaid.
Quaid. Excellent.
Quaid.
Quaid, the
Introduce
man.
One of our
Hey,
writers.
it's Christmas and
and-
we have guests all over.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
Quaid.
Special.
So Quaid's been a member of the team very early on, probably 2 years or so, I would say. And then sort of
Has it been
transition
that
from
long?
probably, and then transitioning from writer to facilitating the testing that we did, the external testing focus group sessions. Quaid was facilitating all of those. And for every module that we tested, we had 4 external focus group sessions to account for people across the world in different time zones. So 4 times over a weekend, on two on a Saturday, 2 on a Sunday, Quaid was there facilitating them. Welcome. Glad to have you here,
Thank
man.
you. Yeah, it's been a fun ride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Quaid, you did a lot of effort on modules 1 and 5, right?
Yeah, I've been a part of a lot of the modules, and I think it's one thing that I enjoyed about it was that I kind of learned more about it doing that than I knew. So that's been an interesting part of it.
Yeah, and you're an educator, and so you brought to bear your knowledge and experience as an instructor, as an educator.
Yep. Yeah, and I haven't incorporated the course module into my classroom yet, but that is going to make it a lot easier, I think. And I'm already starting to think about what modules I can use in the classroom to liven the conversation about argumentation and research.
Oh, that's cool. Great. I also liked when you were facilitating the training sessions, you were really good about like making sure that you would get feedback from everybody that showed up, even people that maybe were there and they were quiet maybe a little bit. You were good about like giving them a heads up that you wanted to come to them, and then you talk to somebody else, but then you'd come back to the person who was a little quiet. Like, you're very good at facilitating those groups and oftentimes those people had really good suggestions too that wouldn't have come out if it wasn't for you facilitating that group in the way that you did.
Yeah, that's a teaching thing there. You got
Mm-hmm.
students who don't want to say anything, and you got to find a way to incorporate them and make sure that they understand what's going on.
Yeah. Robert, was it you that was telling me? Oh gosh, what's this? Okay. What is this? What is this?
It's just an image, a still image of one of our earlier meetings. I think it was
Everyone's so serious.
We all look so happy.
August.
Yeah. What is going on? Well, we're listening to Robert speak, so that's where
August
Oh,
20th,
geez.
2021.
Oh my God.
August 21.
Wow.
Now, Robert, was it you that was telling me that you happen to pull up an old video where we were discussing the definition of, and Quaid proposed one, and it ended up not being too far off what we ended up settling on like 2.5 years later or something.
That's right. That's right. He was one of the very first things. What would be a good definition? And Quaid came up with one within the first minute. And I think should be this. And then lo and behold, 2 years later, almost exactly what he said.
I know the word civil was a big part of it, and I'm glad that ended up being a part of it. I think that encapsulates a lot of.
We should drop that definition in or show it.
Yeah.
When we're talking about it. Well, it's on the homepage of the website. That was kind of cool too. It's like we knew we were releasing this course, but we were developing materials that we started using. So I've started using some of the illustrations on my shirt. Can you see that? I've used them in my presentations, and I've used like the definition of SE or the steps of SE. We've been incorporating the concepts from the course into stuff that's been public facing for a while now. But it's nice to have all this stuff finally together. Yeah, street epistemology is a way to help people critically reflect on the quality of their reasoning through civil conversation. There it is.
This is really good. I just want to mention I was into the Discord chat earlier on this afternoon. People talking about how this material, and one person said, "Oh, well, this wall of text is really kind of boring at the beginning. I really want to get to the good stuff." And I said, "Well, what's the good stuff?" "Well, module 6 is really the good stuff." And they pointed this and said, "This is sort of boring." But in fact, module 1 resolves or attempts to resolve a massive discussion within the SE community of what is SE, what qualifies as SE. Can I reliably point to a conversation saying that is or is not SE? And what are the aspects and qualities of it? It is a central preoccupation of the community even today when they point to various conversations. Every conversation is different. That hopefully module 1 will help to clarify what is or is not an SE conversation.
Yeah. And it's not to say that the door's closed on it. What I would love to see happen, like maybe on an annual basis, is the SE course development team meets with anyone in the community that has any issue whatsoever about the course to talk about it. So if you want to make the case that we need something more about consent in the definition of SE, or I don't know, whatever, there should be a mechanism for us to meet occasionally to revisit the material that's in the course, because this is a dynamic thing. It is changing over the years. Like SE's changed a lot. We even have it. Yeah. Well, we speaking of the definition in the glossary of the course, we list the various definitions of SE over the years.
Yes.
And why would we expect that to change? And if as long as it's changing for the better and making it more clear, then I think that's a good thing.
Somebody asks, will there be a video of the course with narration? And I can't speak for everyone, but I plan on doing some of that on my channel. So if you'd like, subscribe to Abstract Activist, which is my channel, and I may release some AI inspired videos here soon.
Ooh.
Maybe with Morgan Freeman's voice or something. I mean, I could read it, I guess, myself, but I think it'd be more interesting and if I use something like that.
I don't think we're ever planning on doing a video on it, but we were planning to have an audio piece of it. Like, for maybe there are people who are blind, right? They want to be able to listen to it, or maybe just listen to it instead of read it. And Robert's been experimenting with some AI tools where you can upload the text and it gives you the audio.
Yes. AI is going to make it way easiir to do stuff like this. Just like copy paste and then send it through, give it parameters.
Yeah, we were playing with voice cloning technology, and so that once you have modeled your voice, you just give it the text, and it'll read the course for you in your voice.
Somebody's like, "No AI," and I feel you, but like, let's see it first, and then tell me how much you hate it in the comment section, so it blows up.
Mm-hmm.
It'll happen.
Do we have we still been using AI to kind of help us with the writing of the courses, or do we stop that?
We've used it occasionally. Yeah,
man, AI is so crazy. It's like getting really nuts now. Like it's listening to our meetings that we've been recording. Like Anthony mentioned, we've been recording all of them, but then it like summarizes it in writing form, and then we can have a post in the Discord, so that way if somebody missed a meeting, they can read about it and a little short description of like what was said and what was like the important takeaway. And so AI is helping us now do this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's good at summarizing stuff and outlining and giving okay first drafts.
Yeah.
So what would you say to somebody who says, I don't need this course, I just need the AI, ask a few questions, and I don't need the course? What do you say to that?
Is it trained on the course?
It depends on how good the AI is, because I shared a TikTok with you guys yesterday or 2 days ago where you can point an AI like ChatGPT. Now you upload it with resources, you point it to the SE website and you point it to the SE course, and you upload 300 SE videos. Maybe why wouldn't you interface with an AI to learn SE?
Somebody just tried to make one, didn't they?
The only thing is, somebody did they made one, like it was very basic.
I couldn't access it though.
Yeah, I couldn't. I eventually did. It's okay, but it's a start. But the thing is, I think there is a place for the course, because even if you encountered an AI, you may not even know what to ask it. You don't know enough about SE necessarily to even ask it what you need to know to learn SE. But then again, maybe the AI would know that you don't know, and it could ask you questions to figure out where it needs to meet you to teach you SE. Who knows? Well, I think the future is bright with that stuff for sure.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see more of a development of see how it goes. But yeah, I can imagine a situation where we got a really good SE bot, and I think that would change the game in so many ways, in terms of like I would go there to check my own ideas, like I would be going there to, hey, I have this claim, and I'm planning to meet with my doctor in 2 weeks, and what are some good street epistemology type of questions that I should be asking her? Yeah.
Now, Quaid, you teach critical thinking and rhetoric, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what would you say is the value of this SE course in relation to somebody who's interested in those aspects of conversational dialectics and thinking?
Well, I think that there are a lot of controversial topics on the table, even within academia. And I think that, having it be civil is central to the whole thing. And I talk about it in my class, like being civil, but I don't really have anything to necessarily emphasize it yet. And I've even like made my own game, but the game doesn't really have like a civil, a way to make the conversation civil. Luckily, it ends up being somewhat civil. But I think that's the biggest utility of SE is allowing people to talk, especially on college campuses. I think it's really important about things that are highly controversial that people disagree about, and still, not having all the negative or bad feelings, attached to it. Because I think that's why we don't talk about it. I think we don't talk about things because they're not enjoyable to talk about. So we just end up not talking about it, and then we don't make any progress on it as a society, and that's got to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been invited to teach street epistemology at a public school. It's a charter school in Portland, Oregon. And so that's coming up after the New Year's. Now I actually have a course I can reference them to. They're middle schoolers, so it's a different audience than I'm used to. But I will be giving like an hour lecture once a week for as many weeks as I want, supposedly. So I've been invited because of a concerned parent here in town. And so I'm trying to come up with new ways of teaching it. And I think civility is a super important thing, although I think in my mind, I want to emphasize kindness as a major like mental mindset to go into when you're talking with somebody who has very different views than you, and treating them with a certain kind of special kindness that they're not really accustomed to when speaking with a person from across the aisle of whatever belief system you're discussing. And so that'll be a different part of my plan. So
you
that's
taught at a business too, right? You've already taught.
Yeah. Mark Solomon and I, that was one of the best times I ever had doing anything SE related, was traveling to teach SE specifically to a business. I think they still want to be anonymous. But I taught to their employees some basic fundamentals of SE and what we've learned in the SE community. And that was before we had the course. I think that was in April of 2023 this year. So it was a while back, but yeah, I got to travel, and I did 2 4-hour-long lectures back to back 2 days in a row. But I had to plan, and I think Ram helped me with a lot of that as well, and a lot of you guys helped me put that together. And then Mark is just like the best person ever to travel with. He's so chill. I really love hanging out with Mark.
Do you think the course would have helped with that if you would have had?
Oh, absolutely, because then we would have had something to hand out, and now we have that. So now, and if another business approaches SEI and asks for instructors to come to their business to help their employees learn SE, I think it can be really great for businesses, because internally in the business, they can find better strategies to brainstorm new ideas together, to ask each other better questions, to critically think about how they're reasoning through a lot of their plans and their strategies and their goals as a business. And so having this course is going to allow us to hand out material to people rather than just making something custom for them. Well, maybe we can make something custom for them in addition to having this material as well. So yeah,
that client wants y'all back too.
Yeah, they do. They just need some time, I think. But yeah, they want to fly us back out there, which is awesome.
So just as a postscript to the discussion of handing out the course in a classroom setting, Quade, or in a business setting, Nathan handing out it to a school or business classroom, I just want to mention that the course is a Creative Commons licensed product as intellectual property, and is free to use and distribute as a product under Creative Commons. But it's a level 4 Creative Commons protection, meaning that the course can be used as is, but you do require permission to extract, adapt, or produce derivative products, including language versioning products of this course. So if somebody wants to use it or adapt from it, please contact Street Epistemology International, and we'll be there to chat about licensing arrangements associated with that.
Sweet. So when I do my AI videos for SE, maybe I'll reach out and contact you guys and be like, "Yo, check this out. Is this garbage or is this awesome?"
Oh, there
Yes.
we go. There's
Creative
the
Commons.
Creative Commons. Yeah.
Rules and
Attribution.
regulations.
The attribution
Yeah, it
means
just-
that you have to credit us.
Yeah, we just
Go ahead.
want you to say, this came from Street Epistemology International, and we're sharing it with their permission. And you can't monetize it either. Like, we can monetize it, and we plan to. We plan to build other products from this baseline one, including instructor-led training, which we would charge for, which creates a whole new market for people who like SE, who want to get paid to be associated in doing it. So you could actually become certified, and this is down the road, but it's coming soon. We want you to become certified in Street Epistemology and qualified enough to actually teach it.
Yeah.
And then we will have people sign up, and we can pay you for doing so.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just, bottom line, it's not public domain. Some people consider Creative Commons products public domain. It's not public domain. And so there is on every page you can see the licensing arrangements for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on the comment about making it accessible, I think that's something to think about too, and potentially think more about, making sure, people who are seeing impaired, can access the material. And there's a lot of stuff to consider too. Like when I was developing my courses, making sure they have like some people have, are colorblind, right? So there's certain colors that they can't see. So but I think we're pretty good about that. We don't use too many.
But it is a little light. I know Nathan was saying, can you darken the font a little bit? But we looked into, we actually started searching around for contractors to record themselves reading the course, like voice actors. But I think to do the first phase of the course, we were getting quotes anywhere from $5,000 to $9,000. And then we started looking at the AI solutions. I think the AI thing is the way to go. But yeah, very soon I think we'll have an audio component of this, where you can still log into the course, but then you can download the audio file and then play it at your leisure.
I definitely think we should have Samuel Jackson play be one of the voices.
Yeah, I was envisioning AI like switching the celebrity voice every paragraph or so.
And Christopher Walken's got to be in it too.
Yeah,
or every module maybe.
That'll keep you engaged.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You have any more
AI
clips there,
Snoop
Reed?
Dogg.
I do not.
Okay.
But it was fun watching us convert all these various community claims and putting in various sections that we then kind of revised later, just seeing how we were thinking about it at the time. We had like basic and non-basic or advanced, and like, no, we don't need to go do that. So.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Yeah, the very first stage of this project after we formed the team was to query the community to say, what do you want to see in the course? So this course is an offshoot of what the community wanted to see. And then we had to categorize that. And yeah, that would be kind of fun to look at that and see how we were categorizing that, because I'm sure we were misplacing things left and right when we were doing that piece.
And there are clips in the course, right, of like video content, like every once in a while.
Well, there's video clips of content creators doing the thing. Like we talk about interrupting. So there's a clip about, you know, when is the appropriate time to interrupt, or what was the one we have one of your clips in there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. I was about to mention, if anyone is a fan of my channel, there's a unseen clip that's not been published that's in the course of somebody walking out of one of my talks.
Yeah.
About the nature of truth. And there was somebody who was a relativist. I hadn't really fully established that that's what they believed, that they basically were of the mindset that if you believe something with conviction, then it's true. I thought people could be wrong and have conviction at the same time. And she disagreed with that, which there's a weird like paradox that happens here. She thought I was wrong, but she thought I was wrong about how people can be wrong about stuff. And I think she like saw the contradiction there and kind of like got upset and walked out. Oh no, here it is. Oh,
Was
no.
this it?
Yeah,
that's the one.
Scroll down a little bit, because I think this is under messaging. We put this under messaging.
Yes.
Yeah. So like,
yeah.
If you look at the clip, you do share your view, which is totally fine, but you
Only
really
she
share
asked.
She did ask, like she opened the
did
door for your
ask.
response.
Yeah, but I
reality is
should have given
subjective,
it
you know?
briefer.
Like it's
Oh, we're showing this. Okay.
because reality is something that's created from these beliefs, from these words, from these actions.
Was there a reality before there were ever any beliefs?
Is there a reality before anything was observable?
That's another question. That's just like, yeah, that's another question I'd like to ask. What do you think? I mean, I'm more than happy to answer it if you're asking me.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a reality before life on planet Earth.
Right.
That's what I think. Like, I think the Earth formed from like a dying star and a supernova that created heavy elements and then collided together over millions and millions of years, and then the Earth cooled. Roughly, this is roughly a story. And then I'm really explaining a lot.
Yes.
Sure, there are places that exist right now in the universe and have existed that are desolate, but yet they have a state. Like there's like in my mind, when a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it,
It still falls.
it makes
Physics
the same
and
phenomenon
philosophy,
that would
everything.
be sound
Right.
if there
Yes.
were ears
Yes.
to hear it.
Right.
That we call sound. The thing is like what we perceive, but it's also like this thing that moves through the air or through a medium. So I would say absolutely. I'm getting real specific.
Yes, very.
My point of view, but I'm also open to hearing the other perspective and why somebody would be saying that's not the case.
She's looking off. She's done.
Yeah, here's the interesting
She's
moment.
done.
She's thinking.
I just
Yeah,
try to
that's
show
what
my
I'm thinking.
doxastic openness.
The opposite of what you're saying.
My truth is the opposite.
By truth, I mean, yeah, what feels true to me, what feels like what I believe.
And she thinks, and she thinks, and
This has been nice.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna take off and go to my meal plan.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, hungry.
I totally get it.
Yeah. I hope you have a good one. Good luck with your project.
Absolutely. You have a good time. That was at Burning Man, by the
See ya.
way, if you're wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
There you go.
I did a little bit of commentary afterwards, like, "Oh my gosh, is it too hot out, or did I over-explain?" I definitely over-explained. I could have just consolidated all that to like a sentence, like, "Yeah, some people are wrong and they think they're right."
Yeah, she probably would have stayed, but you have no idea. It's not like you were excessively sharing. You were just, it took a few minutes to express your position, but apparently that was enough for her.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is a very common thing that I encounter, which is like I can't proceed with asking how a person might explore their doubts about their own ideas unless we explore first that that's possible. That's possible to be mistaken. I mean, that's usually where I like to establish like a starting point in the conversation before we explore their reasons, because if they don't think they can be wrong about anything that they believe with conviction, then there's no leverage in the reasoning process.
Yes.
And here's the thing: if I'm wrong, then I'm right, right? Because if I'm wrong about people being wrong sometimes, like, how does that work?
Yeah, that's like an ancient Greece paradox or something.
Yeah.
Right.
I think this video clip is an excellent example of a principle that has really stood the test of time for the SE community, which is viewing mistakes as a way to fail forward, to learn and grow. This is an example of how we can benefit from even a quote unquote failed experiment, and use that as a teaching moment to go
Absolutely.
forward.
I need to post more failures because I have a few, but that one's probably my favorite example. So I'm
Do you have any
glad
plans on putting that on your
was
channel?
made.
I know you said it's not on
Hey,
your
I'll
channel yet.
probably just clip this.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, why not?
Do that.
It does talk about. It reminds me of how SE is very unique in terms of conversational techniques, and in the sense of how public all of our mistakes are, and how that fuels innovation in the technique. Like if we go back to 2014 and all the videos there, how much of the course could we apply to critique all of those videos? Like virtually everything we said would probably have so much critiques that we should do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
to see.
like I was watching a clip. Actually, Pierce included it in one of his presentations. I was like, please don't use that clip anymore, because I was talking to a Muslim woman, and I was like, what could you say to me to convince me that you're more correct than the Hindu? Well, you don't want to frame it that way. That's horrible framing, right? It's like, how could we figure out if you're more correct or the Muslim, as opposed to making me the adversary in that relationship? It was just a terrible, terrible example. But yeah, we didn't know. We didn't know, right? It took iterations, countless iterations. And that's what's so cool about the course, is that the people behind it have been involved in SE for a very, very long time. And they've had that experience. This has been put together by people that have, years and years of experience in something that is relatively new. And that's all been put in the course. So it's a really valuable resource for people that want to learn. If you want to learn SE, this is the best thing out there at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people in the I'm sorry, go ahead, Reed.
We're going on our last half hour. Feel free to stick around, Nathan and Quaid. But we have two more people coming up: Sushi and Kevin. What's up, y'all?
Oh, great.
Nice.
Hey.
You're in.
You're in.
Party time.
What's up, guys?
Oh,
How are
right.
you?
Not too much.
Sushi, I think I saw one of your tickets to the help desk earlier today.
Yeah.
You answered.
You're not only going through the course, you're utilizing the help desk feature. Appreciate
Yes.
Yeah, it was nice, and I'm glad that the help desk responded so rapidly. That was nice.
Oh, that's an anomaly. That won't happen all the time. It's going to take. Once we see a lot of those come in, it's going to take a while to respond, because we're volunteers. I mean, some of us, we have full-time jobs, and we only have like an hour in the evening to respond to tickets.
Yes.
So, but you'll get a response for sure.
How many signups did you have?
Robert, I think he said 1,000 people hit the landing page, but I don't know if that means conversions to sign up. Or 2,000, did you say?
1,600 unique views, 2,000 views. Oh my goodness!
In the past 5 hours, you said?
He's
in
on
the
it.
past 5 hours.
Not to be rude, but Sushi, so you're a content creator. In fact, some of your videos are in the course.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw them in there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I didn't get to that part yet. Yeah.
Well, it's just really kind of funny, because you've just started uploading videos, and boom, you've been fast tracked right into the course. They're that good. And then we also have Kevin here from Street Epistemology International. He's one of our board members. What's up, Kevin? He's also a content creator, by the way. Kevin, he's got his own YouTube channel too.
Really? I didn't know that, Kevin.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I don't have a lot of stuff out there yet. I got a little bit.
Are you on the SE page on YouTube?
Oh, he's not.
No, I'm not.
What's your channel name?
Rational Ruminations.
Oh.
It's got the double consonant, so it's like it's a perfect SE channel name.
Right. Yeah. Got to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad to have you guys here. Now, Sushi, you've gone through the course a little bit, I think, huh?
Yeah, I think I'm working on the first module now, but I think I've reviewed 3 of the modules. Rapport, the intro. I think like defining SE. I forget the module 1.
Okay.
But so far, I love the platform and being web based because when I was reviewing the course initially, it was on like the PDF document or whatever it was, and I mean it was good, but like the UI of the website is so nice, and it makes it more like inviting to read, especially because it kind of like segments things up nicely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have, and your volume's a little low, so maybe you can bump it up.
Oh,
but we've
sure,
had people
yeah,
like
no problem.
that would go through the train, like the testing, and they would say it would really be nice to see the other modules in the context of the one that I'm testing. And we knew that they would see that when we would release the course. So yeah, the testing wasn't. Although now that I'm thinking about it, maybe like when we test the future modules, maybe we can actually test them in the learning management system. Why do a PDF? Why not just stick them in there and give people
Yeah, that would be
access
good.
to
And
them?
then you can
Yeah.
check for bugs and stuff like that, and if
Yeah.
necessary. But yeah, so far I'm very thrilled about the course. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my certificate. I think that's a nice little add-on, right? It's like, yeah, I am certified in SE. Uh-huh.
Well, just so you know, it's a certification of completion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you showed up.
You showed up and you did it.
You
Good
showed
job.
up.
Oh, yay.
And
I get a
last
medal.
I checked, nobody yet has received the certification of completion. The certificate
yet.
of completion yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
I
And in order
have.
to you, with the exception of Rob and myself
I
and
don't
maybe a few
count, yeah.
testers. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in
it's a
order
race
to
now, when I get off, I'm
we're talking
finishing
about
that.
since go
we're
live.
waiting to see. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
waiting to see who's going to be the first one.
I'm nearly
But in order
there.
to earn it, you have to complete each module, and then you have to complete the quiz for each module and get a 70% score or higher. And then when you complete the 6th module, regardless of the order that you go in, that will kick off the certificate of completion.
Yes. And as a bonus, you get a 1-page tip sheet. Perhaps, Reed, can you call up maybe not this kind of loud, but an example of a tip sheet of a 1-pager that we have?
Yes. One moment.
Yes.
Module 1, I got the link to that. I could get you that link. I don't know if you're going to be able to find that.
So the purpose of these tip sheets is to help people who have already taken the module. As a reminder, an aid memoir kind of highlights from the module and summarizes into a single page a few do's and don'ts and a few things to the things you should most remember from the module. So you can use this when you're out there doing SE. You can refer to these tip sheets to help clarify what you should be doing and how you should be approaching your SE conversation.
Oh, that is
There they are.
brilliant. That would be fabulous to hand out to people after SEing them. And like, here, you like this conversation, and this is how to do it. And then, if they want to learn more, then point them to the course as well.
And how do they get these again, Robert?
These are locked until you take the quiz.
Pass all the quiz?
When you
have to pass them all, right?
when you pass the quiz, actually, if you pass or fail the quiz, we'll still give you the tip sheet if you go through the quiz.
Is there a
you'll
reason
get
you're
this.
not just making them publicly available?
We figured they're going to become publicly available anyways. But yeah, Robert, you want to?
Yeah, I'll mention that these tip sheets are reminders for people who have taken the course, and so these are not a replacement for the course itself. They are not the whole course in 6 pages. They are things that you should most remember. Some things as highlights, but you really do need to take the course to understand what these tip sheets are telling you in context.
Yeah.
Okay, that's understandable.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
so
so
happy
we-
that this is coming out just before Thanksgiving. And if you guys are like in the audience are, just looking at this for the first time and you're just now seeing the course, like consider doing it before Thanksgiving happens. And
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
because like that is the best time of year
I was
to
like, what are you gonna eat it or something?
chat with your friends and family.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Somebody brought up is now bringing up different language. That's something I haven't thought about yet. What's any hedgeway there at all?
Translations, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna probably go with probably German first, because we've translated stuff in the past before, and this is what tends to happen is that if you outsource the translations, you get back translations that are not as good as a person who understands SE. But so I think what we're going to do is we'll probably outsource the initial first pass translation, maybe to an AI or a contractor on Fiverr or something, get back the translation, and then bring in an SEer who's familiar with that language, or 2 or 3, and then have them work on it and then bring it up to par. That saves everyone a lot of time. But there's a lot of text in here that needs to be it'll probably take it's involved to translate this course to German, for example, is going to probably take a few months to do.
Yeah, we'll make Janosch do it.
Yeah,
that'll
Done.
be his course intensive.
Definitely.
That'll get him through.
But it would be nice to have translations of all different languages.
Should we talk a little bit about what's not in the course that's coming out soon or coming out later?
We can, yeah.
Like, because
Is
you're
excited about?
I can imagine some people who are familiar with SE who are like, "Where's the module on confidence scales or finding claims?" Or
Right. So module 1 touches on all the steps of SE, like establishing the claim, getting to the confidence level, figuring out the real reason. But we expand on them much further and deeper in the next phase that's coming up hopefully in this next year. So, yeah, did you realize that there's different types of claims? I didn't know that until like a year and a half ago. But there's empirical claims, there's moral claims, there's personal preference claims, philosophical claims.
Yeah, so for the audience, what you're seeing now on screen is, if you're watching, is what we have hoped for phase 2. So when we do a launch of a second phase, we'll have these modules here.
Yeah, it's like 1 through 6 is all kind of for getting you set up, but this is actually where the conversation starts. Like identifying the claim is like one of the first things you actually do.
Yeah, 1 through 6 though is so important. It's like you really need to have like the mindset and stuff. Like the more I looked into all this, the more like the mentality is super important before engaging in a serious conversation with someone.
Yeah,
so
we do have all of the steps and kind of the basics of each step in module 1. So it's not going to be, the full versions of the modules, but there's at least a taste of it in module 1 for people.
Yeah, I think people would be disappointed if we didn't have at least some indication of what's happening in those steps, but we're going to get into much more detail. So you'll be able to take the first phase of this course and get comfortable enough with SE to go out and do it. No question. But to really become to really understand it deeply and all the nuance of it, it's going to take the second phase.
Reed, just to put you on the spot
oh, sorry.
For a second, could you just talk a little, Reed? Could you just talk a little bit about Module 10 and the kinds of things that are one can think about in terms of evaluating the epistemologies of people? And you've been thinking a little bit about that. Could you talk for a minute or so about evaluating the quality of reasons?
Well, yeah, evaluating quality of reasons. This is where we're pretty much going to be starting up again, outlining. And after, I guess, for the past few years, my general framework of epistemology has been kind of based on Bayesianism, Bayes theory, Bayes theorem, and the general reasoning principles based off that statistical formula. for basically you have a certain set of priors, which is your credence in a claim, and then those priors are updated based on new information or new evidence that comes in. But I don't know. I'm now very interested in potential other ways of thinking about evaluating the quality of reasoning, especially after having read The Beginning of Infinity by David Deutsch. He's very much against Bayesianism. So there's
You know, I'm
potential different
halfway
ways
through
of
that
thinking about
book, and
it.
I haven't gotten to the part where he's super critical of Bayesianism yet. But
Oh, really?
yeah, like at least that's not my takeaway thus far. But I don't know, maybe I'm not paying attention enough. But I love the book so far. So yeah, I'm into it. You and I
Reed,
will talk more about that.
Could you go back to that page that listed the phase 2 modules? Because normally we've been going kind of sequentially, like we were thinking of picking up with identifying and clarifying the claim. But because claim, confidence, reasons, and methods are so tightly wrapped together, we're starting with 10. We're starting with this. We're starting with where you end up, and we're outlining and writing that, and we're outlining module 7, 8, and 9. So we're kind of going in reverse order to work our way back up to the claim. That's not to say that we haven't, we don't understand those other things or anything. In fact, I think module 7 is like 90% written, but then we thought, you know what, it's probably better to go to module 10, really get an understanding of the epistemology side of it, and then catch up to it, starting with 7. Someone was asking about module 14. Look at that one. Activism.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that. Really curious.
Yeah, I think that's when we might butt heads internally even on that one a little bit.
Yeah, that'll be an
that'll be
interesting
exciting.
one.
Yeah, I'm excited to discuss this. Like, what are the limits of activism? Like we have in module 2, persuasion is a goal that ended up as a goal in module 2. So if that is one of your goals, how much of an activist for that goal can you be, or whatever conclusion or topic you're wanting to persuade people about? These are things to talk about.
Do you think you can actually have the goal of persuasion and do effective SE?
I think it was like a
I think you
reverse finger
can.
trap. Like you almost have to go just rely on SE itself as the means of persuasion, and don't push towards the conclusion. You just push more towards encouraging reflection about the claims and the reasoning around whatever topic you want to have people be persuaded towards. But you don't ask leading questions. You're not dishonest in any way. So that would
And by persuasion, you mean the ability to change minds without coercion.
Mm-hmm.
It's expressly the absence of coercion that makes it a change minds goal within scope.
Right.
Yeah.
And from my view, you also have to really model openness and truly be open as you are attempting. It's kind of weird. It's like a double-edged sword. Like if you want to persuade someone because you think that you're right about something, and like you have to model the behavior you want to see from them. So you also have to like be open to being wrong while you're trying to persuade. And a big part of that for me, because I've done that a couple times. I mean, definitely thought I was right about something in the past, and I've argued for it. And then if I flip my brain into SE mode, I'll be like, well, maybe ask me a question, or like ask me why I don't think that, or you can ask yourself, like, what would it take for me to believe in what you're believing? I mean, there would have to be some reason that I don't think is true, and that's why I'm not over there on your side. I mean, that one can be sticky, but yeah, we'll definitely flush that one out.
Well, that kind of goes back to, one of the reasons that, the course was thought of was to I guess on some level, like there's the studies around the backfire effect, right? Even though those aren't straightforward themselves, but there's a certain number of people that are going to be, if you try to persuade them, that's the very thing that's going to cause them to not be persuaded and entrenched even more.
Right, because you're trying to get me.
Yeah.
Or you're trying to trap me. It's another thing, right?
Yeah, some people will dig their heels in more, and then even if they don't dig their heels in, it's just it's not. It doesn't seem people want that. People don't want you to, I guess, convince them that they're wrong. They want to convince themselves, right? That's kind of
right.
That's it.
And SE, in my mind, is like an art. It's like an art form. So and it's really hard to walk that line with persuasion, and that's why we're gonna probably butt heads a bit when we write it.
That's right. We will probably butt heads a little bit, like in a constructive way, of course. But like,
yeah, definitely.
There are people who are drawn to SE because they have their pet issues that they're really concerned about. And they want to go out and talk to people about it and use this tool to help people reflect on their position to bring them over to theirs. I mean, that is a fact that people are drawn to SE because of it. I mean, I was too originally.
It's a major benefit of why you would want to take this course. Absolutely.
Is there any communication without persuasion?
That's a good question. That's something we talked about a lot too. Yeah. And I would say that there's probably not. Even if you're like, people, we talk about like, well, what about like, a history book or something? It's like, no, there's persuasion there for sure. Like there's no way around that.
Yeah. Like, can you have a conversation without influence?
Yeah,
like I would imagine any kind of interaction with anything would be an influence of some kind. The question is like, what's the intent behind it?
Right. If
The
you're
act
picking
of
up these
speaking is
tools
to try to make change in the world, right?
Yeah, by speaking, yes.
So maybe that's one of the reasons why we saved it for last, which is ironic because SE was sort of born in activism, but then we discovered the utility of it broadly. So that's what the course is written for. It's written for the broader use, the regular everyday use of SE, but we didn't want to forget about the activists as well.
Yeah,
and I noticed Nate is here. Nate just joined us.
Nate, yes, hi.
Another
Hi.
school
Yes.
teacher.
Welcome.
We didn't say anything yet.
Lots of teachers.
I was late. We had a very busy evening. Swim lessons and dinner.
Oh,
and
yeah.
had to take the trash out.
I
all
remember
that
those
good
days.
stuff, so
Yeah, I wanted to ask you because Nathan was talking about this earlier, but you've been making advertisements for the course. Nathan was bringing up the fact that Thanksgiving's like right around the corner, and so is Christmas. And I don't know if that could potentially.
That's what the next advertisement's about.
Okay, all right, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
There's another one.
I already shot it on Sunday.
Already shot
I haven't made it, but I shot it on Sunday. I shot it all on Sunday. So
yes.
I haven't had the time to make the last one yet. Didn't make it in time for the.
Okay, the Santa Claus suit comes out.
It's coming.
Whoa!
Whoa! Here we go.
Not that elaborate.
Oh,
cool. But yeah. Oh, there I am. This
This
was all ad libbed, and this acting wasn't very good, but that's okay.
I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, but I just dropped the link to your channel in the comments for people to give you a follow.
And this one was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good time with this one. I had the general idea of what I wanted, and then I just turned the cameras on and said a bunch of stuff, and then I stitched it together and pulled the lines together that I made it sound like I was talking to myself. So it's a lot of fun to make, though. It was a little bit of a different.
That's good.
Operation than making your standard SE interview video. So.
And who paints the walls in your house? I'm curious. You got some nice colors.
The blue was us. Also,
Okay.
the kitchen used to be all kinds of weird colors. We painted those walls just to match the rest of the kitchen. And we got a red wall on the other side of the fireplace.
Oh wow!
We got a purple office that was there before too. There were already a variety of fun colors in the house, and we added some more. So.
You're giving Nathan a run for his money.
Yeah, right. I currently live in a house called the Rainbow Ruckus, and every room is a different color in this house.
That's
I got
awesome.
the red room.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think we have a few of your clips in the course as well.
Yeah.
I forget what key points we're illustrating with them, but there's at least 2 video clips in the course from your
Side
channel.
benefits of making friends with Pierce. So, you know,
Doesn't hurt.
But the one main thing I wanted to say, if there's one thing I wanted to say when I was on here, it's that I am just so excited as a teacher. I am the advisor for a street epistemology club at our school. And so we get to have like 8, 9, maybe 10 meetings throughout the year. And I'm really excited to be able to take those kids who come to club and be like, here's a website where you can learn how to do this, where they can really go through something that's going to teach them if they choose to take the time on their own, instead of just like the little bits of time that we get them in the club. So, yeah, because in the club, you know, we spend time and we try to
them at all.
What?
Are you going to take the course and actually teach it to them directly, or are you just going to direct them?
No. Like, well, we already do a little bit of the teaching directly.
Oh.
We're like, hey, here, this is how you have these conversations. And then they get to practice, and that's kind of the usual structure of the club meetings. But there's only so much you can cover without making it boring. You don't want to be like, oh, you're just going to sit here and I'm going to talk to you during club time. Like, no, they want to have conversations with each other. That's why they're there. But then to have something where they can spend time, and if they want to really go through it themselves and really learn the method, to be able to direct them to the course is going to be awesome. So I'm super excited about that.
Well, that's super cool. That's way better than debate club, SE club. Yeah.
Right.
The future of conversation.
Yeah, this is I think this is the 3rd year doing it now. So
is it really? Gosh. Okay. Because I think I saw a video where
first
you had
year none of you knew who I was. So oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No. I was just saying, I think I watched a video of yours a week or so ago where I think one of your students and her dad met you out in the park, and they were doing the SE survey
with her dad.
Yeah. Yeah. That was really neat to see.
Yeah. She's one of the student leaders this year. She was in the club last year. She's a sophomore. She was in the club as a freshman, and she and the other student leader are very enthusiastic. It's great because they're really into it, and now they're the ones who are planning the meetings. They're the ones who are talking about, we should focus on this, and we could show this video, and you know, we wouldn't have these topics. And so they're really running with it, which is great, because the last couple of years I've been, you know, I've had more of the influence on it, but really it should be their club. So I love to see them kind of running with it. It's awesome.
That's great.
I'm sure, Nate, you have some practice exercises that students can use to practice parts or bits and pieces of SE. I'm sure that Nathan would be interested in seeing what those practice exercises are like.
Oh, yeah,
in terms of trying SE and practicing it.
Yeah. I could definitely come up with some stuff or refer back to some things that we've done before.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So some people in the comments were talking about potential study groups for this. Has there been any thoughts on that? Like in Discord?
I would just direct them. Well, there's like so many different resources, but the Facebook group, there's a Street Epistemology study group, I think is the actual name of the group on Facebook, and it's quite large. So Street Epistemology study group on Facebook, and then there's the Reddit page. There's a Street Epistemology Reddit. So anybody that has any, you know, special subject matter they want the community to look at, you can put it there. And then always go to the SE website, because there's a whole resources tab on the SE website. So streetepistemology.com is a great place to go to.
Well, after I complete my certificate, I plan on hosting on the SE Discord. Yeah, once I'm qualified, and going over the courses, on the Discord. I think that would be a great way to get people to engage in the, in the course. Maybe not going over the course directly, but trying to summarize with people. I think that would be fun.
Oh yeah, and last thing, it's always good to mention. There's a Street Epistemology Discord server that's going to have be a great place for you to go practice. So there's all sorts of different ways to join a group.
I'm going to do a book review. We got a book review club here that I'm in. We've been doing different books. We did McGraney's book and other ones. We're going to go through the course as part of that book review club and talk about each section and go through it that way.
Yeah. And if people are interested in, if we spun up the SE review show again, we could do it by module, where if there's too much in a section, just section by section. We could do that over the next month or two. That'd be fun.
That would be really good.
Yeah, that would be good.
And draw some clips from the sausage being made during the development of the course.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That'd
much
be great.
that we could do.
Yep.
Now, are you
All
gonna
right. Well,
take the content and like give out the PDFs at all, like you did with when we were doing the reviews?
we were thinking about turning the course into an ebook. Yeah.
And a physical book.
Yeah, and a printed version for people who want that. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow. All right.
Complete with accompanying workbook.
Oh, you want the workbook? Hey, you want to help us
Yeah,
make
the workbook
practice
with the book.
You want to help us make that practice workbook, Nate?
I love writing. I'm such a nerd. I love writing assessments. I love writing questions. Like it's the one of
really?
the
You
bizarre things that I actually like about being a teacher. Like
you're hired.
Grading them.
Yeah. No, we can have the
grading
computer
them's
grade it.
awful. Right. Yeah. Yeah. As
The
much as
writing,
possible, please.
we need help with the writing of those, and we want way more knowledge checks and practice exercises. I think it'd be cool, like if we had a repository of 100 of them, and they were just randomly picked and served up to the learner. That would
Yeah,
be
that's
really
why a lot of the online learning systems and like the online books that we utilize in schools, they have these like adaptive learning checks where like, you know, if you're getting it wrong, it asks you more questions and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
It focuses
Remedial
on particular
questions.
learning targets. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Hey, Travis says we should have a Twitter that reposts SE videos too. Reed.
Well, we did have a Zapier, Zap workflow, but then the new Twitter kind of revoked all of the APIs, so we don't have an automation doing that.
Yeah.
But if someone wants to volunteer to do that manually, feel free.
Wait a second, but
volunteer.
I thought we were doing this. I thought that broke.
It broke because of the new Twitter.
Yeah,
API
Twitter
that
doesn't
revoked.
allow any like third-party connections any longer.
Well, no, you can do it if with $10,000 a month or something.
Oh
So
yeah, you have to pay for it.
we have,
Wow.
If we have someone who wants to donate $10,000 a month to automate it.
I'd rather use the money for something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah,
Yes,
really.
Exactly.
Yeah,
God
we have
alone.
Zapier. It doesn't work anymore.
Oh no, I really like that. That was great. Yeah, whenever we added a new video to the latest releases playlist, which is a manual process, I think. Reed's like fastidious about making sure whenever he sees a new SE video, he adds it to
I
it.
do all that manually. Yeah.
Yeah, he manually does that. He's been doing that for like 5 years now. But then that would propagate out to the different social media sites. But yeah, now that you mentioned it, I don't remember seeing them now for a while. Shoot, I really like that.
The Facebook page still does it if you want to follow the Facebook page.
Okay. Darn. Yeah, we need to get back to that.
Yeah,
Or
so
just
much work
save-
goes on behind the scenes. Go
So
ahead.
much, yeah. Just save the playlist to your YouTube playlists list.
That's
Just
the link to
check
the
it
latest releases playlist in the comments there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
a
well,
lot of
that's-
work goes on behind the scenes and way more than I thought when I first started my channel. Like I thought I was going to just be like editing videos and posting videos, but then the more I got involved, the more I was like, oh, and then there's also like different forms of sharing your media, and then there's different groups you can start, and you can join a club, you can start a club. And if there's not a club near you or like a meetup near you, then start one. And then there's also this course, and then my favorite part, and teaching. You can go travel and teach, which I've done, and then my favorite part is SEing other SEers.
We should do more of that. We should.
On
I'm
Discord,
gonna,
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I'll try to clear some time
Because
so
it's
I can
really
stuff like
important
that.
because they
Mhm.
influence a lot. They talk to so many people, and so if you can make progress with them and better understanding and building a bridge with them, that's huge.
And I SE myself, it's like,
Yeah.
I was say my mom was having medical things, and I was gonna say, "Do you smell toast?" And then it's like, wait a second, how do I know that that's actually a symptom of a stroke? And then sure enough, it's like, well, I don't know that. I don't have any good reasons to believe that. Went and looked it up. It's not true. Nope.
The
Updated
toast
that
thing
belief.
isn't true?
Nope.
Wow.
Okay, now you're blowing my mind. I have to look that up.
Yeah,
You might be able to just smell weird things. Maybe it's not particular to burnt toast, but you don't. I can imagine that a stroke might cause you to smell
couldn't
something
find
weird.
anything that was clear evidence for anything to do with smell. It's all like the
Gotcha.
face and the arm numbness and there's like a whole thing. But anyway, yep. SE yourself.
Either way, we'll leave it up to doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let them figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
All
been
right,
a
well,
long
that's been
day
a-
for me.
Yeah, me
for all of
too.
us.
Yeah, we've been going at this for a long time. Okay, yeah, we'll wrap it up. The course. Whoa, sorry about that. Did you hear that? That's crazy.
Yes, we heard that.
Sorry about
That was a sound of wrapping it up. It's
Okay,
fine.
so
That was a wrapping up sound.
before we
yeah.
sign off, who's going to commit to doing the Sunday go through the course stuff? Like, we should really do that. We should pick a time to start doing that.
I wouldn't mind doing that. I could totally. I'd be on board with that.
Like a review show, but of the modules.
Of the modules, go through. You know, we can do. You know, see how many we can get through in a 2-hour period, and then just pick up the next time where we left off, and we can have a whole series of videos that go through the course and talk about it. Why this was set up this way, how you came to that. You know, that would be great. So, yeah,
I'm down. Yeah.
Nathan
Yeah,
wants to do it. I can see him smiling over there.
Yep. I vote for Nathan. Yep.
Yeah.
You can pop in. You can pop in. Check it
You
out.
post it in the creator Discord or something.
Say that again.
We'll announce it.
Put it in the
yeah,
creator Discord or something.
Yeah,
Oh.
we'll put something out for the people to get on board that.
So on the to-do list for anybody who's watching this video, your task, should you decide to accept it, is to share the link of navigatingbeliefs.com to everyone you know, to have people sign up to the course. So it doesn't matter when you see this video, share it, share that link out to others, because the course is launched and is ready to go.
Yeah, especially the people that you want to have SE discussions with the most. Like the people that you want to engage with the most using SE, I think that's an even better reason to share this with them, because they get a chance to know your true intentions when you have these kinds of conversations with them, but also it invites them to use it with you, because then they might actually find your reasons why you stand where you stand on your issue, the thing that you disagree with. And that's what I think makes SE so special. It's like you want to give it to your enemies and frenemies and people that you butt heads with. That's like the people you want to learn the most. So
Very true. Yeah, I want people that I disagree with to use SE with me on my views.
Definitely.
That would be my preferred way.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely share it beyond your own tribe if you can. All right, great. Thank you everyone for joining the live stream. What a great end to a wonderful phase 1 and to the start of phase 2.
Oh wow.
Okay.
a lot of work still, but
Hey,
yeah.
Thank you for all your work.
Yep. Thanks.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks everybody.
Peace.
Thank you. Congratulations to all.
Bye.
Bye bye.